Hi everybody, we are going to get started with our April Club Q, and we have some fun springtime pages. I know these have some colorful flowers on there, but it kind of tones it down a little bit with that navy blue. So it's really good for any photos, even girl or boy. I have some boy pictures in here also. It just is kind of some fun colors for spring. The one we are starting with today is called Small Moments, and it looks like we suggest Harvest Moon, Desert Sun, and Deep Sea for our Powder Puff Chalking inks. But of course, as always, you grab what works for you from your stash of Powder Puffs. And we are going to get started, but there's a few things that I want to show you before you punch out all of your die cuts. I'm going to move this out of the way. So the two that have the lattice looking pieces, we are actually going to use this part as a background. We cover this inside piece up, but once you punch all of these out, this is actually your background paper, okay? So I'm going to leave these two out as backgrounds, and we are going to get the cutting part out of the way first. There's very few things to cut. I know this looks kind of funny right now because you can see my countertop through it, but we are going to cover it all up and you'll never know that that's there. Okay, so the cutting diagram, if you need to pause and punch out your die cuts and stuff, go ahead. Oh, actually, there's a couple things I want to show you if you haven't punched anything out yet. I actually left the flowers in the whole sheet so that I can just grab them as I need them, like when I layer them up, one bigger one medium, one small. If you have punched them out, I would just separate them into large, medium, small, and then it's easy to grab and layer up. The one other thing is this yellow die cut. I took these pieces out, but I just wanted to show you that we do need this little strip on the side. So save that little strip because we actually use this colorful side of it, okay? And I think that's it for the die cuts. So go ahead and punch those out. The only other cutting we have, and if you need to hit pause and get these cut out also, are these pieces. You just cut along, and it doesn't have to be perfect because it's going to be hidden. So if you're kind of outside the line, that's totally fine. A little messy, that's fine too. This one gets cut out, and again, it doesn't have to be perfect. These all go behind that lattice piece that you already punched out of your background. So I'm just going to quickly go around, and it can be a little bit messy. No one's going to see those. You don't want to do too much bigger because it'll show on the other, or coming out the other side of the lattice, but yeah, so kind of messy like that is fine. We're going to cut all of those out. Okay, once you have all of those cut out, see mine aren't perfect. You won't see the edges once you get them behind the lattice. So once you have those cut out, set those aside. And we are going to do the couple cutting pieces. So the first one is the green dot strip. So it has like a Christmassy thing on one side, but the other side is a green dot. And these all get cut out for each kit. They get cut out of a 12 by 12, so yours might look a little different. I have an end piece, so mine looks like it's already chalked on the ends. But some will have just all dots because it comes out of the middle of the page. So with this green dot, we want to cut it into 3 1 by 2.5. It's already at 1 inch, so we just go 2.5. Or I'm sorry, yes, 2.5. So we put it in 2.5. Move it down 2.5. Move it down 2.5. So you'll have a little extra. We just gave you the full strip. And these are going to be cut into little dovetails at the end. So 2 ways you can do that is you can take one of these other die cuts that are already die cut for you and use the same V if you want to, and line it up like that, and then just cut your lines so that they match that one. Or you can, this is how I normally do it. I just take the ends and I put the corners together. It's harder when it's smaller pieces like this. It's going to crease just barely, but you won't even know when you start to chalk it up. So you can put the corners together and then go from where the 2 corners touch back down, and then that also gives you a perfect little dovetail. So either way, those all need to be cut so that you can use them as your little, I don't know what you call these, little banner pieces, or see, when you flatten it back out, you don't even know. Okay, the next piece we are going to cut is the full size green dot papers. I'll grab the green. Okay, so this next one, we are going to, you have 2 green papers. One's, they're Christmassy on one side, dot. And we are going to trim this strip off the bottom. And then we want to make these 11 1/4 by 11 1/4. So we are going to trim off 3/4 of an inch. So put it in at 11 to 5. Just trim off 3/4 of an inch. And then we'll turn it and trim 3/4 of an inch. Okay. Set those aside. And then I think the last cut we have is this 6x12 navy paper. And I actually spilled some water on mine. It's a little wet. We are cutting this into 2 3x12 pieces. So put this in at 3 inches and just trim it right down the middle here. Okay. So you have 2 3x12s. Okay, so that is all of the cutting. And as we go, feel free to chalk up any of these the way that you would like them. I don't usually chalk everything on the video, but just know you can hit pause and chalk things as you go. The first thing that we are going to do is layer up this background so that these holes are covered up. And what I'm going to do is I have my Barely Art Precision Craft Glue. On this part you could also use double-sided tape or an ATG runner, but what I'm going to do, because this is what I have, I'm just going to put a few dots on the inside here. You don't want to go out around the edge because that's what's going to show. You just want to go next to the center here. Okay. And we're going to center this onto the page, and then you'll have your background all ready to go. Same for this one. I didn't do these spots right here because I know it gets real close to the edge. But with this glue, you don't really need a ton of it. I just do a few dots here and there. That kind of saves your glue. And We have plenty for it to hold this all the way down. Okay, so we have our two background papers. And there were people who had asked for these kits how you get your pictures behind there. It is a really simple process. You can take any of these pieces that you cut out that have that shape, or you can even take this inside piece, lay it on your picture, trace it, but you want to be able to cut your picture slightly bigger. So what I would do is use one of these as a template. You lay it onto your photo. I don't have a photo here, but you lay it onto your photo wherever you want, and you just trace around the outside, and then you can pick it up and cut your photo this size. Really simple to do. Okay, so as you can see on here, there are photos that go vertical and photos that go horizontal. So just make sure you have those cut the way that you want them to go on certain pages. I actually, when I was designing this, I accidentally cut some of the ones that were supposed to be vertical to go over here. So I had to kind of switch it up a little bit, which is fine. But just know that some of them need to be cut vertical, some need to be cut horizontal. You also, instead of putting these in place of some of the photos, you can use some of these spots here for more photos if you want. I just added this vellum because I thought it looked pretty. It adds a little extra color. But if you have lots of photos to put on a page, this is an easy way to do it. Just take these out and add photos there. So once you get, and you can add these anywhere you want in your lattice, so you don't have to do it exactly like we did. But I am going to go ahead and add some. And the way I'm going to do it is I'm going to take my Barely Art glue, and again, I'm just doing just barely around the edge. If you do get too much and it squishes out a little bit when you put it on, it won't show. This Barely Art glue is great for that. But I just do a very little bit, and it's nice with this little precision tip. You can just get a tiny bit on there. I'm going to add one to this bottom left corner. Okay. See, I did get a little bit over here. Just wipe that off. You'll never know. And then I have another one up here. The one that I put up there is the one that has a little more blue in it. But again, use whichever works for you. I'm going to put it around the edge again. And I don't want to use a lot because even though this glue is amazing, too much glue makes vellum warp really easy. So I'm just going to do most of the edges with just a tiny bit. And this one will go up top. I love how it's just really light color on there, but then you lay it down on your page and it just leaves a little more turquoise, bright blue once you put it on that green background. Okay, and then I have a more colorful one for this corner here. And these, they can be chalked up too. You can definitely chalk up vellum. So before you put glue on it, if you want to add more yellows or blues or whatever, you can chalk this up around the edges and stuff too. Okay, add this one here. And then while I'm doing those, I'm just going to go ahead and do this other side as well. The top right corner is actually our journaling piece. I'm going to add that on there first. And then you can journal it once it's already on your page, or you can add your writing, then put it on here. Up to you. Just want to get it kind of even and centered in there. There we go. And we have 2 more. And again, if you have lots of photos, just go ahead and load this up with photos. We also just came out with an entire die cut that you can buy just by itself with this lattice piece also. It's just a simple way to add tons of pictures to your page. But on our website, we have, under die cuts, we have, I think it comes in black and white. And it's one that covers the entire page, the entire 12 by 12, I believe. So if you like this style, easy way to put stuff on, or lots of pictures on your page, we do have more on our website. I think they're $5.99, which adding 3, 6, 8 pictures to your page for $5.99 doesn't seem too bad. Okay, got all of those on. I'm just going to lay this here for right now. If you have your pictures in there, you can glue it down if you want to. This goes flush with the top of the green. This goes flush with the right side of the green. And your, where did I put them? Your dot strips. They are going to, one is going to go flush with, or you can move it down a little bit if you want to, but flush with the green is how I did it along here. And flush with the green here. Actually, I'll go ahead and again, chalk these up as you go if you want to. Let's see what color I have. Oh, I have a deep sea here, so I'm going to go ahead and chalk up the edge of this so you can just kind of see what it looks like. I really like this deep sea color. I have all boys, so I tend to chalk things up with blues a lot. And I actually don't even worry about if there's flowers on the page. I just love that it's springy, fun colors. So for my boys, they get pages that have little flowers and stuff on them, and I think it just adds to the page. Whether it's flowers or not, I think it can still be used for boy stuff. See, I like that, just a little bit of blue. Fields of green would be pretty on here. We have, is it soft sage would be a pretty color, or yes, soft sage, or light moss works with this as well, with this green. Okay, and then that little yellow piece that I told you to keep, that strip, that goes right across the bottom here. And you can use the yellow part or the colorful part, up to you. You have, just above that, you have a teal strip. It'll go just above that, and I'm going to actually chalk that one up with blue as well. Okay, I adjusted this so it fit a little better on there in the camera. Oops. Sorry, I didn't realize that was crooked. Okay, so your teal strip, I'm gonna put a little on here. That goes right above your colorful 1/4 inch strip. Oops, gotta scoot it over too far. I love this glue. It gives you just a couple of seconds to still move things and then it dries permanent. It's quick though. Okay. And just on top of that is your quote. This came in a white sheet of paper, so you just want to trim out around there. Go ahead and add that. Right, whoops, not upside down. Right in the center. Oh, and one thing I wanted to mention about this, if you trimmed it out and there's still a little bit of white around the edges, just use your chalking ink and you'll never see that that is even white. It won't even show. Okay, once that is on, you have little strips like this with what I call little dovetails at the end. One goes on this page, one goes on this page, and you can kind of line those up however you like it. I have, oops, I have the pink one just barely, or I guess it's kind of like a peachish pink mauve. I don't know what this is, but just barely over the dot. And then I'm putting the yellow just barely over that so it covers the ends of the lattice piece, okay? Put a little adhesive on both of those. I lay my pinkish one down first. Just kind of center it. And I don't have this glued down yet because I don't have all my pictures in there. But I'm going to tack it down just slightly for this sample. And I'll peel it back up later. There we go. And your yellow piece. And then flowers are going to go right on top of that, and this part will show. And on this side, same thing. I did the yellow first on this side, but it's totally up to you. Actually, I'm going to tack this down a little bit too. And then I can still lift up these edges and slide pictures in if I want to later. It'd be easy to slide the pictures in there. Okay, and then I did the yellow first. Right at the end of the lattice there. Oops, went underneath on accident. There we go. Then your dot. And these just really barely show, so you can put them on however you want. It's just to add a little extra color. And then from there, it's just layering your flowers. If you have them all punched out and laid in piles, that's great. If not, you can do like I do and just grab a large one, a medium one, a small one, and layer them up. You can chalk these if you want to. Some of them have quite a bit of color on them already, but I have Mango Mai Tai here. It's actually a really old Mango Mai Tai, so I'm going to add a little extra orange to mine. I probably had this for over 2 years, this Mango Mai Tai. And if you want them to pop off the page a little more, what I do with all my flowers is just do a quick, after you chalk them, a quick bend. It doesn't have to be perfect because you'll never tell, you know, you won't be able to tell once it's layered up. So you just do a quick bend on each petal, and that just makes it really like pop off the page, like you have a whole extra layer there. It gives a little boost. Okay, so large, medium, small, and every single flower you're going to do 6 flowers just like that. Okay, and you get another large. I'm not going to chalk all of them just because most of them still have color, and I won't take up tons of your time here. But you can see, I'm going to grab a small one. And some of these are white just because they are coming out of different parts of the paper. So go ahead and chalk those up if you want to. But I just want to show you how much more depth this gives the page when you get all these flowers folded in together. So you can see instead of putting it on there flat, this really has a little extra oomph to it. I like layering them like that. Pop off the page a little more. So all 6 flowers get layered with 3. And then the only other thing you do once you have your layered flowers on there is put a little bit of glue on the ends of your little banner pieces that stick out there, and they tuck. Actually, I'm gonna trade this one over here just so it lifts off the page a little bit and I can show you. You just put a little bit of glue on the ends of these banner pieces, and you can tuck them in however you want them on your page. You can see here I did on this one green dot yellow blue, blue yellow dot green. So it's totally up to you how you want them on there, but you just put a little bit on the end here, tuck it under there. Okay, I'll find my yellow ones here. And if you want to, you can use either side of this. I used the teal side instead of the navy. But before you put glue on, you may want to line these up just a little bit how you want them and then pull them back out. What I normally do is put a little glue here, get your flower in place, and then tuck these in behind it. Once you do your flowers, the last thing that I did was punch out your words, and these just get placed on the blue backer here. Do a little bit of, this is what this glue is great for, is these tiny little die cuts that need just a little bit. Okay, that gets layered on there. Small moments can create the greatest stories. So really this page could be used for anything. It's a very general theme, and I hope you have the perfect pictures for it. And I think we have everything on the page. Once you get all your flowers down, you put a little adhesive on the back of each rhinestone. It goes in the middle. And you are set. This one holds tons of pictures. I hope you have the perfect pictures for it. And I hope you enjoyed Club Q this month. And we will see you next time.